All right. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? This is Twin Flames Unite, and we are at it again. If you don't know by now, I'm Chris.
And I'm Leisha. What up?
What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a beautiful day. And just a reminder, we are here to bring you. We are here to bring you practical solutions that you can apply easily, naturally, and automatically
in your everyday life, so you can tap into your unlimited potential
and rise to the highest version of yourself. All right. Now, this evening, boy, I'm getting on you. You're getting on me.
Listen. This is first of all, we are naturally vibing high. Okay.
Yes.
Naturally
vibing high.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we got a few things going on today.
Drum roll.
First, we just got something in the mail that's just like off the chain for us. It's amazing when you can bring things out of the ethers, you can bring it down into reality.
Drum roll.
All right. So without further ado, I'm gonna let my baby go ahead and go.
You gonna let me do the
intro? I'm gonna let you do it.
All right. Y'all ready for this? So we've been waiting for this for quite some time now.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you who went out and purchased the book, A Moth is Also a Butterfly on the website, thank you for your support. Greatly appreciate it.
Yes.
Now, with that being said, something came in the mail today.
What came in the mail today?
And so we just wanted you guys to be the first to see it. Okay. So without further ado, it's here. It's here in the physical. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We worked on it very, very hard.
Yes.
Okay. Sleepless nights.
It's a little much.
But it's here, guys. The book, the physical book. Because I know some of you said that, you prefer to have the hard copy. And for some of you, you prefer to have the digital one. It's on the website. But the hard copy came today. And guys, it is just beautiful. Outside and inside. So this is the cover. This is the back. It's just so professionally done by yours truly. All I did was put the words. And baby did everything else. So let me show you what inside the book looks like. Okay. Y'all ready? I'm so excited. So this is the first page, the copyright and everything. And table of contents, introduction. And it's so beautiful, guys. Look at this. A Moth is Also a Butterfly. It's the first poem, of course, right? And then the pictures. Oh my gosh. And look at the flowers at the bottom, right? And this one is Collective Game. And what's the other one? Resume. So cute. Did you see the flower? It's just beautiful. I could go on and on and on and on. I mean, the graphic in here is just wonderful. And if you guys look, you'll see that it's a butterfly. You see that all around the pages, just butterflies. Isn't that nice? And the last, oh my gosh. It's so pretty. I like pretty stuff, so y'all gotta excuse me. And then this one is the one this is the one that's not in the other book that I did. And this one is Conversations with Higher Self. So it's quite a bit of intimate conversations that's in there with Higher Self that I put in the back. So yeah, it's here. It's real. And we manifested it and we did it. And it's our reality now.
Yep.
So yeah. So now that that's out of the way.
Yes. So if you all would like to get a hard copy of the book, right now it's only available on Amazon.
Yeah.
But if you click the link that's showing here and click the link that's in the bio, which is twinflameunite.com/link, you can then click on the link that will take you directly to the hard copy book where you can get one just for yourself. All right. Awesome. So without further ado, we're going to get into a topic that a lot of our twin flames are dealing with right now. Now, we're going to touch on one of the aspects of the reason why most people can't let go of their twin flame, especially when it's a situation where it's like a toxic type of relationship. Y'all know what we're talking about, where one is just not healed at all.
Right.
You're always doing a running and chasing thing.
Yeah.
But you know, the whole running and chasing thing can take up a huge chunk of your life if you don't watch it. And there are just some things that really hold us back from still living our best life, even if our twin flame is not ready for union yet. So we're going to give you some tips and tricks, not so much tricks. We don't trick anybody.
Tricks.
It just flows, you know, tips and tricks with them anyway. But we're going to give you some information that hopefully can, well, actually the intention for sharing this information is to shine a light on something that you may or may not be aware of. So that way you can actually continue to move forward. And if your twin ever gets into a point where they're really healed and they're balanced and they're whole, then you can go into a union and everything can be beautiful and blissful.
Right. And then, you know, I think once you come to a certain point in your spiritual growth and development, I mean, we know life has its ups and downs no matter what's happening. At least you would have attained tools, you know, modalities and things of that nature to allow you to have tough conversations, right? And you can use those tough conversations as a way of growing even more and expanding even more instead of allowing those tough conversations to destroy you.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So just a little note.
All right. So I can see y'all are just patiently waiting like, why can't I let go of my twin? Well, let's get into it, y'all. Let's give y'all some help in this situation, okay? So boom, let's get into it. Why can't I let go of my twin flame? All right.
Let's go, guys.
Now, in first look at this, there are two reasons when you really boil down to everything. Wow, that is bright right now.
I know. Jeez Louise.
There are two reasons why you can't let go of your twin flame. One, when it's a healthy, we're going to touch on two different reasons. The first reason is that when you're in a healthy relationship, the reason why you can't let go of your twin flame. And then we're going to look at the toxic, which I'm pretty sure most of you are looking forward to getting some information about it, of the reason why in a toxic relationship, why can't we let this go? What's up, Goddess 999?
I'm just going to put my glasses on so I can read and just be a little nerd today.
All right. Now we have an awesome quote to kind of go in to what we're about to go into today. And I'm going to give my baby the honors to read this one.
I would love it. See, I'm ready. I got my glasses on. All right, guys. So this is a pretty cool quote. So if you could screenshot it, go ahead and screenshot it. If you desire to know where your spiritual work lies, look at your emotional pain. All right?
Yes. And you know what? This is actually something that really helped me out this week. You know, Lionsgate ain't playing with nobody.
No.
Nobody. Okay? And, you know, just being transparent a little bit, there are just certain patterns that popped up in my life over and over again. And when I think I got to it, I really didn't. But whenever these patterns come up, and especially if there's any strong emotions that's really tied to it, especially on the negative side of things, then there's an indication that something is really begging to be paid attention to. And so if you're going through cycles over and over again, and you're still experiencing that same pain over and over again, that's just an indication that we haven't really gotten to the root of things. But we're going to touch on that. I'm not going to get too much ahead of what we're doing, but just giving you a kind of FYI. Okay? All right. Hey, what's up, D? Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. All right. So I'm going to let you talk about the healthy relationship, sweetheart.
Don't mind me, guys. My lips was dry. I was just putting some lotion on my lips.
Well, let me read it while you do your lotion.
No. I'm done. So healthy relationship. This is what this is for, right? So the twin flame journey is about raising your vibrations, right? In order to open up to unconditional love, right? Love of self and then onto others. The bonding that connects twins is very strong, as you guys might know. You have telepathy, and the telepathic communication, and it's almost uncontrollable. Mm-hmm. So letting go can't really be achieved, especially if it's forced on you, mm-hmm. right? So that's why it's so difficult.
Yes. And when it came to our relationship, what's up, Max? Good to see you. Good to see you. I wouldn't say that our relationship was forced, but it was definitely meant to be.
Yes, that's the better terminology.
Right, because once again, if you all don't know the backstory, mm-hmm. definitely go back and watch the video about how we met. But we had no clue what twin flames were before we came into union.
Right.
Okay. Didn't find out about it until about 2 months after actually being in it.
Stuff was just not making sense.
Yeah, like why do I feel like this? Like this don't feel like no normal relationship.
It was just too intense.
Yes. So that's one thing to keep in mind when it comes to the twin flame union. The reason why it's so strong. And somebody else had actually brought something up. I want to say it was 13 astrologers. What is his name? 13 Signs of Astrology. Mm-hmm. Okay. He had mentioned something about twin flames being one entity when they come together, one deity when they come together. And in order for that deity to really be successful and whole, to really be successful and powerful, they need to be two whole individuals coming together. So this twin flame thing is not something to really, if you ain't ready for it,
Yeah, and he said something as far as, and I could see how that could be possible, as far as wanting to hold on to the mundane ID and want to be in a twin flame relationship. Because it's like a lot of people, they hear about the term twin flame and they think that, oh, this is the ultimate goal and, everything is going to be roses and all this type of stuff. When the truth be told is that when you get into a twin flame relationship, it has nothing to do with the mundane world.
Nothing to do with titles.
Right. It has nothing to do with titles and all of this 3D stuff. So if you're looking to be in a twin flame relationship, but you're still holding on to this old paradigm way of living and way of doing things and way of operating, you're going to find it very difficult, right? And you're going to find it maybe even traumatizing and tragic, because the twin flame, it's going to open up your wounds, if you want to call it wounds, but it's going to open you up to allow you to start to heal. And a lot of people, they're not ready for that. They're not ready to look at their shitty side.
No.
They're not ready to look at their trauma. They're not. And so when you get into this twin flame relationship, it's like holding a flashlight over all your shit.
Yeah.
And sometimes the twin flame, they might come and they will mirror that and you'll see all that shit and they might leave.
Yeah.
And that's like a double trouble.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's what he was saying. If you're not ready to raise in frequency, if you're not ready to really rise up into the God that is within you, then you probably should just live your mundane life.
Yeah. Now this is actually a little bit off topic, because from what we're talking about right now, if you're not following exactly what we're saying, when it comes to the twin flame union, if you really want to get into union with your twin flame, you have to let go of all of this 3D stuff.
Yeah.
Let go of your titles, let go of boyfriend and girlfriend, man and woman, and especially, I'm gonna say this, just know I love y'all.
Hold on, man.
But if you're holding on to any type of religion, it's gonna hinder the twin flame union, because the twin flame union is way above anything religious. And we're just gonna leave it at that. And I'm gonna share this post. I'm gonna drop the bomb and leave.
Just like some sage.
The twin flame journey is about evolving your soul. And sometimes it gets rough. Okay? Sometimes it gets rough. All right? Now, that's the part that we wanted to cover as far as with the healthy relationship. The reason why you can't let go of your twin flame, especially when you're in a healthy one, which you probably don't want to let go of your twin flame if you're in a healthy relationship, but it's mainly because there is a really strong bond that is happening. It's pretty much, just think of it like a chemical reaction. Once you put two chemicals together and they react, you can't really take that apart.
Okay, Jay got a good question. She said, "Is my twin flame a trauma bond?" Question mark. That's what I'm asking. You know what? We did a whole video on trauma bonding, and we should definitely implore you to go ahead and take a look at that video, because after looking at that video, you will be able to decipher if that's the situation that you're experiencing.
Yep. And actually, I think I have that. No, just because you brought that up, because it's actually something that probably really needs to be looked into. Where is that one? I think it's underneath the other profile.
Yeah, we just
kind of getting off book a little bit here.
But it's kind of like still on, right? It still makes sense because it all ties in. So just bear with us. We're gonna go grab that so that you can see that real quick. Because trauma bonding is real. It is real. That codependency, trauma bonding type of situation, it's very real.
There's one.
Oh, you're going to give her the signs?
Yeah.
And she could screenshot it. Yeah, you go ahead and screenshot that real quick. We're going to pull it up for you in a second. So you could know what the signs and symptoms look like.
Yeah. So once again, see, this how much we love y'all.
Yeah, this is a whole nother thing. Yes, yeah.
It's a whole nother thing. But here's something to share with you all. These are signs of trauma bonded relationships. Okay? So if you think that your twin flame relationship is a trauma bond type of relationship, take a look at these signs and you can make you can make the determination yourself. Oh my gosh. Here we go. So just real quick, we're gonna run through these. We're gonna run through these real quick. But just know we did a whole video describing this whole thing. So like I'm gonna let you read. You got the glasses on. Just run through them real quick, man.
All right, guys. Y'all got some good vibes. I feel some good vibes in the chats tonight. That's probably what it is. Okay, so signs of trauma bonding relationship. Just to segue real quick, we're gonna go back into the main topic, right? So first one, you're gonna notice justification. They don't mean it. All right, it's not their fault. They had a tough childhood. This is a manifestation of the cognitive dissonance. This kind of justification starts in childhood into adulthood. So what that means is they're always justifying their actions, never really owning up to anything, right? And understand this is something that comes from their childhood. Really not their fault, but our trauma is not our fault, but healing it is our responsibility. Okay. Next one. It's called future faking. Getting married, buying a house, etc., making all kinds of promises that they never fulfill. They will share their future fakes with their friends. So you'll be sharing your future fakes with your friends. Like you know that you're faking it, but it's like you want to kind of create a relationship off of hope and potential. So because you see the hope and you see the potential, you're going to act like if that's what's happening right now.
Right.
All right. So the next one, you keep having the same fight over and over again with no resolution. So if you're noticing that you keep repeating the same patterns as far as not agreeing on something or fighting over something, that's trauma bonding.
Yes.
And it could be about money, cheating, whatever, personality disorders, doesn't matter. It doesn't change. So sometimes when you have a conversation with someone, tough conversation, and when you're done, you have a resolution and you feel like you've grown from it. That doesn't take place in a trauma bonding relationship. All right. Okay. So the next one, mystical, magical thinking about the relationship. They're not able to give logical reasons as to why they stay together. Right. And this happens a lot in the twin flame dynamic. you know, because you'll be like, oh, it's just something about this person. I can't explain it. They're my twin flame. And they put that twin flame terminology in front of everything. And they use that twin flame terminology to excuse things that they would not even put up with. Right? So that's the mystical, magical thinking. It's just something about this person. Meanwhile, they're just walking all over you.
Right.
Okay. Next one, fear of leaving even if they realize it's not a healthy relationship. So you might be afraid to be alone. You know, they might think that they are wrong for leaving, developing fear for the unknown, kind of like a cult. It's crazy. Next one, number 6, one-stop shop for the narcissist partner.
You're the partner, you're the chief, you're the cheerleader, the shrink, you're everything to this person.
Right.
And you know that they're a narcissist.
Right, exactly.
And then number 7, you in a trauma bonding, signs of trauma bonded relationships, you're hiding your feelings and needs you don't feel. You can share your needs and feelings without getting hurt. So can you share your feelings without getting hurt?
Right.
If you feel like you can't share your feelings, then you may be in a trauma bonded relationship.
Right. And if you do share your feelings and they get upset about your feelings, it might be something for you to think about, right?
Yep. And then the last one, which is number 8, rationalizing the relationship with other people. So you're telling everybody else, like, oh, no, it's okay. No, they're a good person. You know, they just have their ways and things of that nature. So
keep making excuses and things of that nature for other individuals, always defending their actions. It's not even making any sense. And you know it's not making any sense.
Right.
But you feel like you have to keep defending them. That's trauma bonding.
That is trauma bonding. So that's one of the things to really look for. And once again, so if you are somebody who has experienced some type of trauma, you're noticing that you're just repeating patterns and you're having those same feelings all over again, that means that there's something that is not healed. And so that's what we're about to get into right now, so that you can free yourself. Okay? So that you can really free yourself. So, is that off? That's off screen a little bit. It's okay. Okay. So this first part, so we're talking about in toxic relationships, why can't you let go of your twin flame? So if you recognize that you're in a trauma bonded relationship, why can't you let go of this person?
Wow.
Okay. So when there is unresolved trauma, we can get stuck in space and time. Please forgive, that is, I don't know why this off screen, but it's bothering me. I'm gonna leave it alone right now. Okay. You may know logically that you need to leave, but unresolved trauma keeps you there. And what are some of the symptoms of some common unresolved traumas, baby?
Yeah, this one took me for the loop. Bullying, community violence, right? Like when people gang up on you. And now it will be, we live in this world now with Zoom and Facebook groups and stuff, have the whole group turn against you. And complex trauma. If you guys don't know what complex trauma is, you can probably Google it, or you can go back and look at that video that we did. But I think they took it down. YouTube took it down.
Yeah, they.
Wow. Yeah.
The video we did on trauma healing is only available on our website because putting trauma and healing together is a big no-no.
It's a violation to the community standards. See,
get the whole video taken down.
Okay, so complex trauma is just when you have all the traumas.
Chronic,
acute, everything. It's complex, right? Disasters, early childhood trauma, intimate partner violence, medical trauma, physical abuse, refugee trauma, sexual abuse, and traumatic grief. So these are all the signs of a toxic relationship. Well, most signs. It's probably a little more, but these are the main ones.
Yep. So when you have all of these traumas, things that are unresolved, it can leave you stuck in life. We've talked to quite a few people that feel like they're stuck in their job, they feel like they're stuck in their relationships. Sometimes they even feel like they're stuck in life. That is because there is some type of trauma that is really holding us back. that is stopping us from moving forward on what we really want to achieve.
Exactly.
And yeah, what do you want to say on that?
No, Mex got a really good point down there. I guess we'll touch on that once we get through the slide because we're almost done.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to talk about that next thing. So that's a good point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because see what happens. Actually, you know what? We should probably go into the next slide with this because this is going to help bring some things together. Now, just brace yourself, y'all, because you may not think that this is not you, but when we talk about it, we're just bringing some things to light. Just bringing some things to light.
Right.
Okay. So when you have all of these traumas that are undealt with, what can happen on some level, whether it's on the extreme end or the mild end, that we can have dissociated identity disorder.
There you go. There you go.
Or just DID. Okay. Now, just to give you a little bit of information, if you're not familiar with dissociative identity disorder, this is previously known as multiple personality disorder. It is a medical disorder characterized by the maintenance of at least two distinctive and relatively enduring personality states. This disorder is accompanied by memory gaps. This is one thing definitely want to keep in mind, the memory gaps. Beyond that would be explained by ordinary forgetfulness. Okay. Now, but what we really wanted to touch on here is that when the more trauma we experience, the more fragmented our personality becomes.
That's true.
Okay. And when the trauma becomes more than the emotional body can handle, once again, we get stuck in time and space. Okay. So this is one of the reasons why we can't let go of where we are, because there's some type of trauma, some type of fear, some type of anxiety that we just don't want to push past. Okay. And we can tell you firsthand experience, it is not something that is easy to do. You're talking about experiencing some very traumatic things. If you remember the video that we did about 2 nights ago, was it 2 nights ago? Okay. When you experience some level of trauma that is just so deep, what happens, because your mind loves to serve you. Okay. The mind is a great servant, but a terrible master. Okay. But your mind will set up a situation for you to be as comfortable and functional as possible. And when your brain recognizes that you've just gone through some type of trauma, whether it's a little bit or a lot, it's going to shut that shit down and it's going to put it into the unconscious mind, not the subconscious mind, but in the unconscious mind. But then even those things that are in the unconscious mind still comes up in various different ways. Right. Yep. So I know it's a little bit of a mouthful, and but if you take a moment, we got quite a few people in here, and I think y'all are paying attention. We appreciate y'all for paying attention on this one, because it's time to heal, and it's time to let all this stuff go. It's time to let it go so that we can move forward in our lives, because we got too much stuff going on right now.
Y'all hearing the stuff that's happening? It's a lot.
If you're not aware of all of this stuff that's going on right now, when things really start to pop off and you have not handled your trauma, I'm just going to leave it at that.
It's the ride could be a little, let's just say the ride can be a little less bumpy if we do what we got to do.
Right.
All right?
Right.
So how do we heal? And I just wanted to touch on, before we move to how do we heal, I just wanted to touch on the personality disorder really, really quickly. I just wanted to throw this in there, right? Because right now in this, what's happening in the world, I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but there is something that's called a walk-in. Okay? If you guys in the chat, if you know what a walk-in is, put a 1 in the chat. Let me know where you guys are at so I'll know how to move forward with this.
So if you're familiar with the walk-in, put a 1 in the chat. If y'all know what that We're not talking about a walk-in at the doctor visit or a walk-in at the salon or the barber shop. We're talking about a whole different type of walk-in.
Yeah,
that's going on.
Walk-ins. So the reason why I want to talk about walk-ins when it comes to personality disorder is because it's easy to confuse the two, right? Because it's a really thin line when it comes to the walk-ins. Okay, beautiful. So we got some people that know about the walk-ins, right?
Okay.
So because we all know we have soul contracts, right? And we come here for a particular reason, yada, 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 right? So if a soul feels like the journey, they bit off more than they can chew. And
sometimes we feel like,
they're like, you know what?
What the hell did I get myself into?
I thought I was going to be able to do this, but, hey, let me just find an exit point. So instead of breaking the body, right, and having to go through these lower dimensions and, have to work their way back up again, right? And then some even get stuck in the lower dimensions from breaking the body. They have an option to do what's called a walk-in and a walk-out, right? So, and it can happen at different times. I don't know. Some of them have it in their soul contracts, if they have a really bad accident, if they had a near-death experience, and they just decide fatal disease, in the deep sleep, deep meditation, anything like that. But these are things that have to happen with your permission, of course. It's not something that's just going to come and take over your vessel. No, it definitely would be with your permission, of course, right? So you have a soul, you would walk out, and the soul that comes in, they would, of course, still have access to some of your memories and stuff like that. But they will, of course, finish off your
3D task.
Whatever you got to do, finish it off before they move on to handle theirs. Now, this is going to be it could either be a high vibrational aspect of self, right? Or it could be just a different soul coming in to didn't want to go through the whole baby phase and goo gaga trauma and all that stuff. They just want to come in and do what they have to do and then leave, right? Either way. But if you guys are not familiar with what walk-in is, it's
it's talked about in the Law of One. In the Law of One,
you get a really good breakdown. In the Law of One, they talk about walk-ins, they talk about wanderers, soul braiding. And then the soul braiding is where you can have two souls existing at the same time in the body. This is why I wanted to talk about the personality disorder. So you really have to be in tune and have really good discernment to know the difference between those two personality disorders and when it could be a walk-in. Because walk-ins oftentimes they could seem like they have amnesia, like they don't really remember stuff. Because again, it's a new body. They just came into this body. So they're really not going to have a lot of the experiences that the other soul had. All right. Just use discernment in these times, because if you haven't noticed, it's an apocalypse that's taking place. If you hadn't noticed, we just wanted to remind you, just in case you might have.
It's not biblical. So don't worry about that. It's a totally different apocalypse if you're not aware of it. But
all apocalypse means is a lifting of the veil.
Yeah.
That's all it means, is that everything is really coming to light. It's like, the Wizard of Oz, where now we're seeing behind the curtain and we realizing that they really had nothing to begin with. You was lying the whole time. Right? So how do we heal? Let's get into it. How do we heal?
Yeah. But real quick, because I think you didn't put in the point, the reason why you wanted to bring up the
I did. I wanted to let them know to use their discernment. Because the multiple personality disorder, they can confuse it for a walk-in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So you just have to use your discernment to know the difference.
Yeah. So sometimes now see, this is when you have to really know somebody, because if you really know somebody, then you can pick up the difference. But if you don't know them, you can easily be fooled. But that aside, because you can only control you.
Right.
So let's get into how do we heal from this trauma so that we can let go of this twin flame when we're in a toxic type of relationship. Okay. So let's go. All right. So how do we heal? Okay. Now notice the picture on the back is not by accident, because we're talking about accessing parts of your memory. Okay. So how do we heal? This is. It's simple, but it's not simple. Okay. you have to find the root of your trauma.
Yep. So you got to get the work. This is not work that's easy, dependent on how young the aspect of you were, when it was traumatized. That will determine the amount of work that you will have to do and how deep you're gonna have to dig. Okay. The younger the fragment part of you is that you're looking for, the more work you might have to do.
Yeah. Sorry about the planes, y'all.
Yeah.
All right. So you have to find the root of your trauma, because when we return and or find the root of the trauma, we can then release the energy and move back to the present moment.
Mm-hmm.
So that way we're not stuck in the past and we can move forward.
Right.
Okay. But you have to be able to recognize your triggers recognizing your triggers and do-overs can help us find the original trauma and reclaim our personal power.
That's right.
Okay. Now, once again, I'm going to give y'all a little bit information about something that happened to me recently. I'm trying to see about the best way to go about this. Okay. So there was a particular pattern that was going on with me in regards to self-doubt or things of that nature, right? And so I sat down in this meditation room here for about 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
For about 2 hours.
Might be even 3.
Okay. And, I really had to dig deep into this feeling of a spirit of lack, unworthiness. Yeah, we go through it too. Just because we twin flames don't mean that we got it all together.
It's levels to this.
Okay?
It's levels.
But, and this is something that I've been working on for quite some time, but I'm just like, it keeps surfacing back up. Like, it seems like there's a whole cycle around something will happen, things will be cool and everything will be fine, but then it comes back up again. It's like, you know what? Fuck this. I ain't moving from this spot until I figure out what the hell this is.
You got an F-bomb, so you know what that is.
Okay. And so what happened was, I dug as far as I could go. And one of the reasons why I really pointed out on this particular slide here, on this one, when it was talking about the memory gaps when it comes to dissociative identity disorder, because there was a part of my childhood memory that I couldn't remember. Like, it was just a whole gap as far as what was going on. And so this is the reason why we brought this up, because sometimes the trauma can be so bad that we just disassociate ourselves as like, oh no, that happened to Jack. That didn't happen to me.
Right.
Right? Like, just real talk. Like, that's the way your mind works. It's like, no, that didn't happen to you. That happened to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
But, I was just so gun-ho on figuring out what the hell is this. So I had to go to additional sources. I didn't have to go meditate, y'all. I just had to call my mama.
She's a real record keeper.
She's the real record keeper, right? And so I had to call my mom and be like, Mom, what type of kid was I? And, she told me, oh, you were a wonderful kid. Everybody loved you. You were just so cute. Mm-hmm. And you were so obedient. But I didn't like that about you. I was like, what? Oh, rewind. Hold on. You didn't like that I was so obedient? Like, what is that? And so she told me this story. And I'm telling this story because this is one of my last release for this, so that this is no longer a blockage for me. Because once you can actually sit in your trauma and you can face it and you can actually talk about it, then you know that you really gotten over that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because if you cannot talk about your trauma, you still got work to do.
Right. And if you have missing gaps, if you can't remember certain things, you got work to do.
Right. And so my mom told me that the reason why she didn't like that I was so obedient is that because if anybody told me to do something, you know, I would do it like, yeah, I would do it. Yeah, I'm gonna go over here. And my mom didn't want my hair to be cut when I was a baby. And so my family members actually conspired against her to cut my hair. And which is funny, the reason why I started growing my hair, but it's a whole, it's a, look, once you find the root cause, you can see why it branched out to so many other things. Because if you all remember the video we did probably like 2 years ago, as a reason why I grew my hair, it's a whole nother story. But when my mom found out that they were conspiring to cut my hair, she went through and cut off the power to the entire house.
Mom Dukes.
She was like, no, y'all not cutting my baby's hair.
Come through, Mom Dukes.
But then reality sunk in. Because if y'all remember, I told y'all my mom worked in most times 2, maybe 3 jobs at a time. And so she thought to herself, like, I got to go to work. And I know that they're going to try to find some way to cut my baby's hair. You know what? I'm going to cut my baby's hair. And she was infuriated. She didn't want to do it, but she knew if anybody was going to do it, it had to be her. And she told me that when she cut my hair, that's when I started to stutter. I'm talking about bad stutter. Like it was awful. And, you know, that moment sparked a lot of things as far as my self-confidence. Because after a while, you know, stuttering so much, you're like, I'm not speaking in public, you know. And then it comes to so many other things just branched off from it. Off of one incident that was very traumatic. So traumatic for me that it went to my unconscious. Okay? So I'm saying this to say that if you want to get out of the rut and you want to be able to let somebody go, you need to dig deep. And if you can't reach out like I did to my mom to try to figure out what the hell was going on, you're going to have to get really good at meditation and be able to go through and have your guide show you what is it that you're missing.
Right. Or even hypnosis.
Yep, hypnosis will work as well.
Hypnosis will take you straight to the unconscious. You know, like just it might cost some money, but hey, what are you worth, right?
There you go. Now, last but not least, this is the last slide, and then we're going to get into some of these comments that I see flying through here, which is that you got that one.
This is pretty cool. There can be no letting go and moving on until we have resolved the original trauma, which is looking for release. Because we cannot hold on and let go at the same time. It's either you holding on or you letting go. Right? We got to make our choice. We can't have the cake in front of us and still eat it. Either we're going to just watch it or we're going to eat it.
Facts.
Okay, there can be no letting go and moving on until we have resolved the original trauma, which is looking for release. The trauma wants to be gone. It doesn't want to be there. It wants to be released. It's stuck energy and it wants to go.
Right.
All right. But unconsciously, we're holding on to it and it's literally ripping us apart from the inside.
And if we just continue to let it fester, you know, it gets to a point where you do have to seek professional help.
You do.
And I'm just really grateful for my higher self guiding me the way that it has up until this point. Because, you know, so many things, like after going through this, it's like, it's almost like how you see, like a Wrinkle in Time, right? At one point, like they had all of the black tentacles just going everywhere. They were getting into people's subconscious. They were just seeping into everywhere. But once she was able to spark her light inside of that darkness, it made it all disappear in every dimension, every part of the world, every part of the universe, like it just rippled out and just disintegrated it. And that's what I feel like really happened for me, which was once I was able to see that point, I could see how it affected my entire life.
Right.
Yeah.
Now we got some good questions in the chat. I'm ready to dive into y'all questions.
Yeah, let's see what's going on.
Let's go. Let's get it.
Let me go back up because you said the first one was in
Lex.
Mex.
Yes, Mex got a really, there you go. That was dope.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. She says, Mex says, many people have trouble, right, and think their karmic partner is their twin flame. Okay, this is true. She wants us to please explain the difference because there is a lot of confusion. All right.
Yep.
So this is true. And
we got you, Mex.
We don't, listen, there's one thing that we don't subscribe to is going up to someone and telling them that's not your twin flame. We would never tell someone that is not your twin flame. Okay. The only thing that we can do is give guidance from our experience, and also we can share other people's experiences, right? And then also guide them to go within and heal their trauma. Because once you begin to heal your trauma, you begin to collect fragments of yourself. You begin to now become whole, okay? And so once you start becoming whole, then you would start realizing and recognizing, because you're gonna have your connection back. You're not gonna be cut off anymore. Your connection, right? And your intuition is gonna be clear as day. And once you know who you are, you know who your twin is. The reason why people are being confused and they're thinking that they're karmic, which is someone who's coming around to help to, bring them a lesson, which they should be always grateful for their karmic because they're helping them on some level.
Yep.
They think that their karmic is their twin because they're still fragmented.
Yeah.
Right? They're really not doing the necessary work, to really start becoming whole and becoming balanced within, because you'll know the difference.
Yep.
So I think the focus should be on healing. Once you start healing yourself, collecting all aspects of yourself, you're going to know these things.
Yep.
This is an inside job. It's like happiness. You can't externalize your happiness and put that to be somebody else's responsibility. Knowing who your twin flame is happiness. So this is your job. You're supposed to know who your twin flame is.
Yeah.
I always say this is the only thing I would give credence to, the only thing that I would allow and I would agree with is if you go to Machu Picchu, okay, if you go to the deep jungles of Peru, okay, and they tell you that that's your twin flame, that's the only how I'm gonna be like, you probably need to believe them.
Right.
Because these people they're like rooted in nature. They're like rooted. They never been in this type of atmosphere to be kind of conditioned in so they're with nature, they're with spirit.
Right.
They never lost anything. So if they were to tell you that's not your twin flame, I would just say believe them.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I would say, right? But other than that, it's an inside job. All right. So once you begin to heal, once you begin to collect your fragments of yourself, you will become to know who you are. Once you know who you are, you know who your twin is. Yeah.
Yep. And once again, Mex probably already know this. I know she's speaking for the collective, but if you're not aware of that, and if you're confused, if you're one of those people that are confused about whether it's your karmic or if it's your twin flame, there is a video that we did on breaking down the karmic and the twin flame, but I'm going to show you all a little piece that came from their presentation. We're just going to break it down real quick.
Go on and show it to me, Dave.
Okay. So
y'all could screenshot that too if you want to.
Definitely screenshot this because we got plenty of presentations that we've done. All right. So when you're talking about a karmic, the shadows triggered in karmic relationship become inescapable. Swamps and partners get bogged down in murky waters.
Yep.
Okay, so that means that, let me read the reverse side of a twin flame. So just pay attention to the difference. On the twin flame side, the shadows triggered in the twin flame connection are overcome by the partners and help them both grow and evolve.
All right.
Okay.
Now.
Yeah, this is, in this video, we pretty much broke it down that a karmic cannot be a twin flame. Okay. There's a lot of mixing that goes on, but not quite. But look into the second one here, which is saying intense karmic relationships bring out shadow aspects of both partners and tend to keep them in a low vibration. Okay, talking about the karmic type of relationship. But when we look at the twin flame side, the twin flame, intense twin flame connections bring out shadow aspects. So keep in mind, they both bring out shadow aspects. This is why a lot of people get it mixed up. But shadow aspects that are then processed by the partners, helping them get on high vibes and thereby overcoming karmic issues.
See the difference?
All right. And lastly, on the next part, on the karmic side, it starts off as a karmic connection and stays that way, and is likely to take both partners on a downward karmic spiral. All right. But on the twin flame side, yes, it can start out with some karmic connections, and it transforms into a blossoming connection once both partners have processed their shadow sides and karmic issues enough to get to a true twin flame union stage.
All right. Now.
So once again, if you are not willing to do your shadow work, if you're not willing to dig deep into the most painful parts of your life, then it is not going to be really easy for you to connect with your true twin flame.
Right, because if you don't want to connect with yourself, you know, or if you have different aspects of yourself scattered in different dimensions, like a diamond, right? If you kind of a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit everywhere, right? It's going to make it more difficult.
Well, Jade, once I'm just looking at this comment here. I don't know if you said anything after this. Once again, if y'all are making new comments, we hadn't got down to it yet. We're trying to go back and look at the old ones. But when you get a chance, Jay, just go back and watch this one from the beginning to make sure there's nobody else around.
Yes.
Let's see. What if you're feeling someone else being traumatized and realize their trauma? Okay. Now that comes, that's an awesome question there, Jade. You want to touch on it? Or you want me to?
Go ahead.
Okay. So when it comes to feeling other people's trauma, this is actually one of the truths I had to come to, which is that I am very connected.
Pisces into his house.
A lot of times I like to lie to myself. I don't anymore. And recently, yesterday, I actually got rewarded for following my intuition.
We both did.
Like literally.
Yeah.
But one of the things that we really have to realize is that we are really connected to everyone and everything. And I don't mean just like everybody. I mean like even a glass. Our pets, our dogs, our cats, fish, all of that stuff. Like, you know what they need. But a lot of times we be like, no, I'm just making it up in my head. Like, you may not be.
Just doubting that doubt.
But when it comes to feeling other people's trauma, you definitely, that requires a lot of training for you to make sure that you know where your trauma begins and ends. And so you can recognize when it's somebody else's. Now, there's a beautiful technique that Sandra, what is her last name? The one we've been watching with the Kabbalah stuff.
Oh man, she is awesome.
Yeah.
Hold on.
She gave this awesome scenario on what you can do. If you're feeling somebody else's trauma, what you would do
with the protection.
What you would do is take a moment, recognize that person's trauma, and then push yourself back. You don't have to do this physically, but you can do it physically. But in your mind, push yourself back and then put a wall between you
Mhm.
and that person's trauma. So that way you can look at it as it's just their trauma
Mhm.
and not mine.
Exactly.
Okay. And that's a really good, healthy way for you to protect your energy.
And also, imagine that you have a wheel around you, right? A constant wheel, and what the wheel is doing, it is constantly sending the energy back down to Mother Earth, because Mother Earth, you know, is ground. It's going to ground that energy, and just see the wheel keep going a full circle from front to back all the way around, and just send that energy back down to be grounded. Right? That's just a little trick that you can do. Now, being highly sensitive could be a pain in the behind, but it is our superpower.
Yeah.
And if you use your intuition to see if you should help that person or if you should leave it alone, because sometimes it's best to leave things alone, right? You can't help knowing what you know and feeling what you feel. It's just how, it's just what we have. But your higher self will guide you to know when to move and when to stay, when to help and when to chill out. Because sometimes helping can be hindering. And I had to learn that the hard way. Right? Like yesterday, I was about to help in the situation that my baby was talking about. And my higher self was like, no, you won't. And I was like, but I thought higher self was like, no, you won't. And I was like, well, okay, I'm mind my business then. And it turned out that I needed to mind my business. And I'm like, I'm glad I listened to my higher self, because everything worked out as is. As he did. He was going back and forth with his higher self too. Same thing. Like, but hold on. I thought I'm supposed to. Okay, let me do it.
Now, real quick, to let y'all in on something else, because this is something I realized once I went through and did this work. Because one of the things that once again, I pretty much decided that I was going to stop lying to myself about how I can really feel all of these different people's thoughts, emotions, and things of that nature, right? And so I told myself that I was going to be more open to receiving this information, but using my discernment about whether or not I should act on these things that I'm feeling or that I'm noticing. And so when I made that commitment to myself, I could feel my heart opening up, but it also brought a tightness in my chest, which felt like I was about to die, right? But the reason why I was feeling like I was about to die is that because I was accepting a path that I knew nothing about. And so I was really stepping out on faith in myself, which is something that I don't normally do. But, you know, being fully open to that gift and not being ashamed of it and really accepting it, it brought about some growing pains. So you're going to experience some growing pains once you've really gone through and healed that trauma, because you're doing an integration. And at first, you know, your space was like this, but now you're bringing in another space, so it's going to widen it out. And so you're going to feel that pain. Just know, if you're feeling that pain, like no pain, no gain.
Growing pains. We pay with our pain.
Right.
Right. Yeah. And I think we got another good question that was in there somewhere.
Yeah, let me go back. Let's
go back up. I think I see another good one.
Yeah, this one here. Real quick, XO, which is just love. Okay.
Aww.
I've had so many missing spots in my childhood I can't remember. You have to want to remember. And I'm only saying that because I was in the same spot. When Leisha and I got together, there was so many things I could not remember.
Yeah.
So many things. But I stayed persistent at it. I kept setting the attention, like, I want to remember. I want to remember. I want to remember. Because those memories haven't gone anywhere.
No, but you know what you did do that did help you?
What's that?
You were doing a lot of dream work and dream journey.
Oh yeah, I stay in the Astros. If y'all don't know me, I'm big in the Astros. Okay.
Yeah. So if you're wanting to get some help with retaining your memory, You can get that help in dream states, right? Like he said, but you have to want to, right? And you can actually tell your mind before you go to sleep what you want. What do you want to see? Show me such and such, right? Because your mind is there to serve you, literally. So whatever you want to know, you set the intention and you say it to yourself before you go to sleep. And then keep a dream journal at the side of your bed. And it doesn't matter how crazy the dream sounds. When you wake up, you write it down. There is something that you did when you would wake up. You would set the alarm for 3 o'clock, and you would wake up and you would, stay up for about maybe 15 minutes. Don't go to sleep, but don't be up until you can't go back to sleep. And then you fall back to sleep, right? And then when you wake up again, you journal. And do that for about a month or so. And that will kind of help to loosen things up, to kind of jog your memory back, to help you to start remembering. Also, mindfulness meditation.
Yes.
Right?
And also food that feeds your neuropathic brain waves. Okay.
Blueberries.
Yes. Stuff that really feeds your brain. Because when you got to think about it, that's another part of the reason why, if you're not aware of what's going on right now, you definitely need to get your head out of the sand and look up, because there's a reason why a lot of us can't remember our memories. Because if you remember back in the day, if you watched one television show and then you watch another television show, you couldn't tell a person about the previous television show that you watched. That's because a lot of the stuff that's been in the food has been programmed to make you forget. Okay, especially long-term memory. Okay.
Oh, yes.
So like a lot of the stuff that was in the food, that is currently in the food, is really attacking your long-term memory. So if you switch up your diet and really consume things that help feed your brain, you'll start to remember those memories that were once lost to you.
Right. So it's like a series of things that you want to start doing, if you're really serious about it. So the dream journaling, changing your diet, right? And also mindfulness meditation, even breath work can help out with that also.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Max. A lot of people talk about doing the work, but they don't plan it out. And hopefully this information that we're giving y'all, because once again, this is our intention, because right now, for the things like August is coming.
Man, y'all ready?
August is coming.
Listen, if y'all ready for August, put a 1 in the chat. If you're not ready for August, put a 2 in the chat. Because y'all know, okay, it's been a hell of a ride for the past 1.5 years. Who's ready for August? Because y'all know every month they do something.
Yeah, but yeah. So when it chakra work, self bodies, yes.
The emotional body too.
Right. Yeah. So the reason why we really, like, if you hadn't noticed the trend in the videos that we've been doing for the past couple of days, is really about getting down to the trauma, really releasing yourself, stepping back into your power. Because what's gonna look, this is not doom and gloom, but this is just something for you to be aware of.
Preparation.
Okay.
Those who fail to prepare, they prepare to fail, and that's just it, man.
Yeah.
We're just trying to raise your frequency, raise your vibration, raise your consciousness, and in order for us to do that, we have to share this information, because again, what does information do? It forms us from the inside.
Right.
Information.
Yeah. So if you all remembered the video that we talked about, I want to say about a month ago, about dark NLP. And one of the things, there's the saying that goes along the community, right? Which is that if I know you better than you know me, then I can influence you. But if I know you better than you know you,
what we could do, baby,
then I can control you.
All right now.
Okay? We're bringing some things to light. So if somebody else knows you better than you know you, then they can control you. Which means that if they know that you're going through a trauma. Hell, a lot of the trauma, they orchestrate it.
On purpose.
Okay? And so they know that you have an Achilles heel. And if push comes to shove and you don't want to give in, they're going to poke at that Achilles heel.
Poke, poke.
Okay? Now, this can go on so many different levels. Y'all can use your imagination, but just know that if you want to be in the best position, no matter what, you want to make sure that your armor has no Achilles heel.
Right. You have no triggers.
No triggers.
To press.
Mm-hmm.
You have to
deactivate the triggers.
Deactivate all those triggers. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to deactivate all those triggers in the unconscious, in the subconscious.
Yeah.
Delete them.
Yeah, all of those fears that you had back when you were a kid, that you didn't have enough food, so you had to scrounge and eat food because your mama and your father was poor. Get that trigger out of the way.
Get it.
All of the triggers that you have about money and not having enough of it because your family was poor and you didn't have enough money, you need to get rid of that trigger.
Right.
Whatever happened to you while you were in grade school and they picked on you because of your weight and said that you weren't pretty and that you were ugly, you need to get that trigger out of the way.
Get it out of the way. And listen, the biggest trigger on humanity, even me once upon a time, but not anymore. It's the fear of death.
Say it now. Say that one more time.
All right. We got to get rid of that. The fear of death. We have to get rid of the fear of dying, because it's literally an illusion. It's just a transformation, like from a butterfly, just like my book, shameless plug. My mother's also a butterfly. Go get it, guys. It's on the website and on Amazon. Okay. Just like a butterfly, we transform. The caterpillar literally is no more. It liquefies, right? You could say it died, but then it comes out with wings so that it can do more things now.
Right.
So there is no reason for us to fear death. Our ancestors was not afraid of death. They welcomed death. They're excited about it. They actually prepared for it.
Yes.
They got themselves ready because they knew that, first of all, they needed instructions, to get to where they needed to be. So if you're in this particular life and you have all this stuff in your unconscious, in your subconscious, and when you transition on, you're transitioning into the underworld, it's, the navigation process is going to be kind of chaotic because that's what's in there.
Yeah. And see, that's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't want to do their shadow work.
Right.
Is that because it takes them to a point where they feel like they're about to die.
Pretty much.
And if you are not afraid of dying, like us, then you can do that shadow work.
It's okay. I mean, it's a lot of pain depending on how deep your trauma goes,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't nobody come to planet Earth and listen, this is the place, it's okay.
Because you know what? When you get rid of fear, especially of death, like if y'all remember about almost 3 years ago, I actually had some run-ins with the police.
That people didn't know what to do.
And, if I was really afraid, I would have done what they told me to do. Get out the car, put your hands on the hood and all this stuff. And I actually got video proof, so I ain't even lying.
This woman said we hurt society. You remember him?
Shoot. I told the officer what I'm going to do.
Right.
So he's like, roll down the window. It's like, no, I got a crack. You can speak. Go ahead and speak right through the crack right there. Like, license and registration. What did I do? Like, there was no fear. Even though, you know what? I'll say this. I was afraid, but despite me being afraid, I didn't show them, and I stood my ground, and they left me the F alone.
They sure the hell did. Stand your ground.
Okay? Because when you get past fear, and especially the fear of dying, there's so much that you can really get past.
And something that I have realized, okay, guys, there actually are things and events and entities and even people that are worse than death.
Yes, they are.
Say that again. There are certain things, people, entities, situations, circumstances, events that are actually worse than death.
Death is a blessing
for some people.
Mm-hmm.
But what they're trying now with this new thingy bob they got going on, okay, y'all be very mindful. Oh my gosh, I can't even get into it. I'm gonna have to tell the Royal Twin Flames tomorrow about what is really happening. Next Saturday, I'm gonna have to tell the Royal Twin Flames because we can't say certain things on here.
Mm-hmm.
But just listen, guys. Listen, Lillian, don't do it. Y'all know what we're talking about. Don't do it, okay? We love y'all. Don't do it. Don't be afraid of dying. No. You should be afraid of dying and not knowing what the hell is in your unconscious. That you might want to be afraid of.
Yeah.
But don't be afraid of death itself. It's nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah. And just know that right now, because some of y'all may not be aware of this, you can build your heaven right now.
Go on, start building it. What Dreams Are Made Of? Is that the name of the movie?
Yeah, What Dreams Are Made Of. You can build your heaven right now. Mm-hmm. And it's probably something we're going to go into with our Royal Twin Flames on next Saturday.
Yeah, we should talk about that.
Next Saturday is going to be our first Royal Twin Flame meeting of the month. So August. We're going to, in August. So we're going to be going into that. But I think we pretty much covered all of this, and we really hope that this brought some things to light. And, if you didn't catch it, this video is a lot bigger than your twin flame.
Mm.
We're talking about you really going through and claiming all of your power.
Yes.
That's actually not even claiming, but
retrieving. Gathering.
What is it when, like, I have a pen, but I didn't know I had a pen?
Enlightenment.
I don't know the word that I'm looking for, but just imagine this: you already got it.
Mm.
Okay, that's it. If you didn't know that you already had the power, just like I didn't know, like this pen has been sitting on the desk the whole time. You just got to pick it up.
Mm.
You just got to pick it up. You don't have to make a step. You don't have to do any other actions other than picking it up.
Get what belongs to you.
Okay? Just imagine this pen is your power, and it is already within you.
It's there.
You just got to pick it up.
Honeydew has the perfect hashtag.
Oh, I was showing that earlier.
That is the perfect hashtag.
Yes.
You become
Withable.
Withable. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Honeydew. We appreciate that very, very much.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are so wonderful tonight.
Yes.
But listen, guys, again, don't forget, okay? Your girl got her book, man. It's out. Show some support. If you don't want to get the hard copy, if you want to get it right now, you can go to the website, www.twinflameunite.com. And let me read y'all a poem so y'all can see how deep this stuff is, man. This stuff is deep, man. Hold on, man. Hold on. I'm going to read y'all this beautiful one. I think I read it to you guys before, but we probably got some new audience and you guys have never heard this before. This is called Generational Courses. I'm not going to read the conversation with Higher Self because it's too long. This is called Generational Courses, okay? And this is what we're clearing, and it goes really well with what we just read, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to say curses, you can, but I prefer to say courses, okay? Now, generational courses. These are courses that we go through sequentially due to a series of choices that was formed before your current incarnation. As a result, you will be the fruit that was created from that form of decision-making and past experiences, okay? Though it is a course or curse, however you decide to perceive it, nevertheless, it is an experience that was passed on for you to cipher through or live through. How you feel about it does not necessarily change the course. It is a mere acknowledgement of the course. This is indeed the first step to reverse or change the course if you so choose to. Generation stems from the terminology gene. The word terminology is a study of the form from which the course and situation arrived or just is. Integration or transformation of these courses, however, if you choose, can be your responsibility, which is simply your ability to respond. Before you come into the awareness, there would be a series of unconscious reactions. Once you step into a higher form of awareness of these courses, then the door of responding opens up for change and transformation. You were born into a series of past conscious and unconscious ways of living and experiencing through circumstances that will form before your existence in this particular realm. Those who are able to experience challenging courses rise and learn much on a soul level. Everyone has courses to experience, and none are more important than the other. Some will repeat until necessary. Your courses are formed from decisions. Generational courses are carried through the gene pool. You swim through these pools with your emotions. Some emotions weigh more than others, and therefore that will determine how quickly you sink or rise. The key to rising through the courses, however, is awareness. So you see, some good stuff.
Once again, we appreciate y'all saying y'all are going out and getting the book. You can go and get the hard copy. Once again, fully redesigned. Look at those pages.
Beautiful.
Butterflies on them. So you got some awesome content in here.
The conversations with higher self is dope.
Yes. So yeah, definitely go ahead and get your copy, just like these people are saying. Go and get that copy. You can go and get yours.
Thank y'all for y'all support. That is
Yes.
really encouraging. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Very encouraging. Yes. So yeah, y'all can go to the website, get the book, get some shirts, book a session. Also, yeah, definitely book a session. This is something we haven't been talking about too much, which is booking a session with us, because yeah, we've been going through our own transition and things of that nature. And yes, we have been still doing them, but we hadn't really talked about it so much. There's so many things that are going on right now.
A lot of evolution taking place.
But just based off of what we talked about today, if you are experiencing any type of difficulty with really diving into these traumatic events so that you could heal from it, sometimes, yeah, it does help to talk to somebody else, because there are just certain questions that we can ask that you wouldn't think about asking.
Right.
So we definitely encourage you to book a session with us. And just know that if you talk to anybody who's ever had a session with us, they got more than what they paid for.
Right, exactly. Okay? And if you're a Royal Twin Flame, you do get discounts on the website, by the way.
Yes.
Just for being a Royal Twin Flame. And if you want to support the channel in other ways, we have 3 tiers on YouTube. You can just be a supporter of the channel. You can be a Twin Flame supporter, or you can be a Star Seed, a Royal Star Seed. Or you can just head to the website and become a Royal Twin Flame.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You have access to all the webinars that we do. I know on YouTube, if you're a Royal Star Seed, you have access to other videos that, it's not out to everyone else.
Yep. So, many benefits. We're just out here uplifting the world one person at a time, one consciousness
at a time. 5D.
All right. So
high vibrations, guys.
So with that being said, y'all, we love y'all so much. And just remember that tomorrow we will be doing Q&A and card reading. So definitely make sure you have that notification bell turned on.
Yes.
Hit subscribe if you haven't hit subscribe yet. And definitely give that thumbs up if you haven't given that thumbs up already. Okay? We love y'all. Peace out.
Peace.